Luka Doncic this year has been spectacular, and I think a lot of people know that, but in today's video we're going to highlight how great he's been and if he can be an MVP candidate so early into his career. Let's discuss. But before we go into this video, make sure you drop a like down below and comment your opinions. Also make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified after each and every single video that I post. Guys, Luka Doncic has been one of my favorite players even before he gotten into the league. I remember before the draft I said he should have been the #1 overall pick. Shout out to me because yes, I called it, and he looks amazing and he looks like the best player in this draft. Don't get me wrong, you have other players that have the potential to supersede him, like Trae Young, DeAndre Ayton, Jaren Jackson Jr. But as of now, I think it's safe, at least for me, to say that Luka Doncic looks like the best player in this draft class so far. This year, over the past 3 games for the Dallas Mavericks, he's averaged 29 points, also 10 rebounds and 7 assists, while shooting 50% from the field. Now, the one thing that I have admired about Luka Doncic's game this year, which is kind of also on the Mavericks as well, is that they're letting him facilitate a little bit more and take control of the offense. Even though last year he kind of had the freedom to do that anyway, but this year they're running him at the point guard position. He's with KP obviously, so he's trying to give him open looks, and I think facilitating wise, he is much better than he was last year. He looks way more comfortable and used to the system that Rick Carlisle is trying to implement. Now, a lot of people are probably saying, bro, whoa, you can't say MVP candidate for Luka just yet. The Mavericks probably aren't even going to make the playoffs because some people don't think they're going to make it. I share that opinion as well. I do not think the Mavericks will make the playoffs, but why do people think that I think Luka will be an MVP candidate? Well, I don't. I was just saying that for the title, so you got clickbaited in. But regardless, I think he will put up MVP caliber numbers and lead the Mavericks to a better record than last year. I could see a 42-43 win season. I could see them having a winning record and just not making the playoffs. I mean, this West is stacked. I mean, you got teams obviously like the Clippers, Lakers, also the Rockets. You know, you got the top heavy teams up there. And then at the bottom, you have the teams like the Pelicans, the Kings, the Mavericks, the teams that aren't bad. They're entertaining, they're fun to watch, have nice young players, and though they're not championship contending teams, they could sneak into the playoffs and have some pretty good games with some of the top tier teams in some of the early matchups in the first round. But as I look at this Dallas Mavericks team, they just do not have enough pieces. Seth Curry, Justin Jackson, Tim Hardaway, Courtney Lee, that's just not going to get the job done. But I am expecting once those contracts like Tim Hardaway Jr. is up, Courtney Lee's up, I'm expecting them to sign some other good, better players to fill out that roster and surround Luka and KP. But as I look at Luka, another part of his game that I've admired is his defense. Even though his defense isn't great by any means, obviously he does struggle on that side of the ball in comparison to his offensive game. But defensively, in terms of help defense, he is so much better. And last year in his rookie year, I did see flashes of really good help defense, and this year he's shown that as well. And his flexibility is just ridiculous. He can play any single position on the court, obviously outside of the center position because he's not going to be matched up with guys like Cat, but still, when you look at his skill set, it is so flexible. He can do everything on the court, and I think that his ceiling is through the roof. I mean, he can put up MVP calibers right now, so once they start filling out that roster, it's only a matter of time before he puts himself in that conversation. He could be an MVP candidate as soon as next year, and that's crazy when you look at Luka. Now, am I expecting Luka to keep putting up these numbers? No, I'm not expecting him to keep averaging nearly 30 points a game and 10 rebounds and 7 assists, but do I see a stat line similar to 24, 25 points, 8 to 9 rebounds with around 6 to 7 assists on pretty decent shooting splits, and I would estimate around 45% from the field, maybe 46%, 34-35% from 3, and around 75% from the free throw line? Yeah, that is definitely something that he can do. And with KP on that roster and them possibly, and I said possibly, making the playoffs, because if they can sneak in at an 8th seed, and definitely if they can sneak in around a 6th or 7th seed, I could see Luka Doncic getting some MVP votes. Not saying he's going to be among the top 2 candidates and he's going to have a race back and forth with Giannis or something, but I definitely could see him being among the top 5 if they can get that seeding and he can keep putting putting up numbers not similar to the ones that he's putting up now. Like I said, I do see a drop off in the numbers. I do not think he's going to stay averaging these numbers, but the stat line that I did predict earlier is definitely possible. And if he can do that along with the other things that I've said, I can definitely see him being a top 5 candidate for the MVP this year. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to give him those expectations. I'm not saying he has to do it or his career's over or something, or he's going to do it. No, I'm just saying I can see possibilities for him because the sky is the roof with a player like Luka Doncic. And not only am I seeing potential MVP candidate flashes from him, not just this season, but definitely for next year, but I am also seeing an all-NBA possible selection. Now, I'm not going to push it because there's only a handful of players throughout NBA history that have been all-NBA this soon into their career, but I think with the way that Luka's playing, it's not too far out of the question for him to join that list. But in conclusion, Luka Doncic, definitely one of my favorite players in the league, so you can see I'm probably being a little bit biased towards him. I've always liked him even before the draft, but when I look at a guy like Luka Doncic, I just see an offensive skill set that only a select few players throughout NBA history have had at this point in time in their careers. And if he can just keep developing and keep making that offensive skill set more complete in every single area, become a little bit more efficient from 3, take better shots, limit the turnovers, we are going to have one of the best players that we have ever seen in NBA history if he can get that down. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to put too much pressure on him, but those are the kind of expectations when you ball out the way that Luka has balled out. And along with KP, I'm expecting the Dallas Mavericks to have a really competent team moving forward, building off of these two and making them the cornerstones of this franchise. But Luka Doncic, man, oh man, that's my guy, and I'm expecting Luka to get in his bag this year and show the world why he should have been number 1 in the first place. But that's a topic for another day. We're not even going to get into that too much because I like DeAndre Ayton. But this is your boy Young Mustard signing out. Y'all make sure y'all have a great day. Also drop a like so I can keep those likes all the way up so I can keep making fire content just like this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified after each and every single video that I post. This is your boy Young Mustard signing out. Peace.